We're getting ready to start here in just a moment with tonight's Eagle Soar. And maybe you're viewing this in the morning, so maybe I shouldn't say tonight. But I thought I would just tell you a story of something happened before we actually get started into the lesson tonight. And it is exciting to see. Hold on just a second. Hoping the microphone is going to work tonight. I didn't turn it on correctly, so we will see. And if it's not correct, then be sure you can see this afterwards. We'll post it on Facebook Live as well. If there's no sound, then hearing people, you can just kind of imagine that yourself is deaf tonight. We're excited for Eagle Soar and all of the things that are happening with this. Just to let you know, our plan is for Eagle Soar to go until August. We will have a series and then we'll stop for a while and then we will start up again. And the reason for this class is to help deaf ministries to grow and to learn. So if you know of a hearing person that needs classes to learn more about deaf ministry, share this right now and let them know. And then also tell us where you're watching from. Put it in the comments down below where you live. That'll help us to know how far out we are reaching at this time. We're ready to start. Give me just a second and we will start. Hi and welcome to Eagle Soar. The class tonight is this: Keep it simple. ASL. Keep it simple. Have you ever thought that ASL is complicated and hard and you think, how do I sign it clearly? Well, tonight we're going to talk about making it clear, signing ASL simple. Before we get started, let you know a couple of things. First of all, we have a catalog of so many different things at Silent Word Ministries where you can order, you can view, you can see all these things, you can download many different things. It's a large number of different items, and so please check it out. Where is that? It's at silentword.org, and then if you want to, you can go /store. Or you can just go to silentword.org and you will see the little icon up there for the store. I'll also let you know tonight that the things that I'm going to be teaching, these are in this pamphlet right here. And there's more in the pamphlet that I will not discuss. And then some of the things, I'll explain other things that are not in the pamphlet as well. So let's get started. Tonight's lesson is not really a message preaching, but we're going to start with a verse. And that is this, Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 10. It says, "Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with all thy might." And that's an interesting idea. Some people think that that means, sign language. Too much, too strong. And some people think, that means I need to copy like a deaf person, a hearing person, copy like a deaf person, and sign fast like a deaf person. We're going to explain some more and more about that idea tonight. First of all, have you ever seen this? A deaf person that would say, I watch an interpreter, I watch a hearing person sign, but I don't understand what they're saying. One time we were in a church in South Georgia, and one of the interpreters, a lady, she stood up and she sang, and it was just, it was beautiful, but it was really hard to understand. And a deaf person that was seated right next to me, they said, "What'd she say?" That was tough. Because sometimes hearing people, they want to sign that's just beautiful, but beautiful sign language is simple, easy to understand. Understand this, that fast signing may not be good, but slow signing is not bad. Today, Ronnie Rice, evangelist, deaf evangelist, and he's getting old. He's not old, but he's getting older. He's still preaching and still teaching as of right now in 2020. But as I was talking with him, I noticed his signs were slow. He was clear. His points are clear. And I think that's good for a hearing person to copy that. Slow signs, clear signs, good signs. Before we talk about signing, interpreting, or teaching a class, I need to give you one idea, and that is who is responsible for the clear communication of the message? Who is responsible for that? Is it the interpreter? Maybe, yes. But first, it's the speaker, who the person is that's standing to speak. Now, maybe that's a hearing person that's standing and speaking, or sitting and explaining, or saying something, and there's an interpreter. Who is responsible for the clarity first? First, it is the speaker themselves. That speaker has a responsibility to be clear, to be clear, to be clear, to say what they mean, to say it clearly so that other people can understand it as well. And then secondly, if they're speaking, and there's an interpreter, then the interpreter is then responsible to sign it very clearly. As we sign, we don't sign only words. We sign meaning. Point what, point what, point what. If you're going to come to ASL Institute this year, and we try to repeat it again and again and again, say the same things every year, and that is how to interpret clearly. What does it mean to create the message clearly? And I'll just give you a brief summary of it now, and that is the speaker has in his mind an idea. And for hearing people, the speaker has words, and he explains and uses words in talking. And the hearing people listen with their ears, they understand the words. And if the speaker is clear, then the hearing person goes, "Ah," and this, the idea here is the same as the idea over here. And then it happens when the interpreter interprets and is clear in signs. This idea comes across not through words, but through signs, through actions, through visuals. So that what happens is a deaf person over here goes, "Ah," and the hearing speaker, their idea, through the interpreter, through to the deaf person, "Ah." And if that matches that, then communication is successful. So we sign meaning, point, and what is clear. So let's get into it. How do you sign clearly and make it clear signs and simple and easy to understand? First of all, realize not every person understands the same as you. Maybe you're teaching a class and you say something like, "Oh, remember Jericho." And maybe there are people out there going, "Who is Jericho?" Well, it's not a who, it's a place, but some people don't know. One of my friends was teaching a class one time, and he explained and he taught the class, and it was a simple class, and it was a lesson that my friend had known all of his life. And when he got done teaching it, he said, "I'm sorry to tell you a story that you have known all your life. And the deaf people there said, no, it's the first time we have seen that story. So realize that there are many people that don't know the experiences and everything the same as you. Every person has different backgrounds. Every person grows up and is different. We have different backgrounds. We have different education. When I grew up, I was in a different school. Every year we transferred, and I was in different, I was counting it recently. Growing up, I was in 12 different schools, but we did not move during the summers. We moved in the middle of the school year. And my experience is very different, and my education is very different than other people. Strange experience. And different people have different church experiences, church knowledge. Some people don't know about church. And so when you're signing, realize that they may not know what you know. And so don't assume, don't just think, oh, okay, they know it, they know that, I can go fast. Make sure that when you sign, it is clear. If you're interpreting, you're an interpreter, one of the lessons that soon we're going to be teaching is, what do you do if you're an interpreter and the speaker, they say something, just a name or a place, and they just throw it out there, and you're interpreting. Is it all right just to throw it out there, or should you add to that? Well, you don't add to it. The idea, we're afraid of the word add to, but there are different ways that you can expand and help sign language to be clear that are perfectly proper and good. And so make it simple and clear. When you're communicating to people out here, notice their communication level. Some people, they communicate very well with gestures and drama and expression. Other people, they like words. And you as an interpreter or you as a teacher, you have to notice that and see what is their language, their communication level. One of the things you're going to see soon here at Eagle Soar, there's a deaf man that was telling a story about a police officer and his car and that car. And this deaf man, he loves to tell stories. And so he started dramatizing this story. And I was watching, oh, that was awesome. So when I communicate with him, what do? I try more and more to act things out, to be dramatizing it, to use a lot of expression, to pause, to make it clear. And so you need to notice, how does a person communicate? And then match that. How do you sign ASL simple and clear? Well, think about signing clearly and making the point. Understand, when you sign, it is important to sign clearly. Now, all of us, hearing people, we learned sign language before. Maybe a deaf person taught us, or maybe it was a book that we read, or maybe we watched a videotape and we saw and we learned signs. And you learn signs a specific way. You learn signs a specific exact hand shape and the way that you do it. Some people, though, later on, as you sign, you improve, you get faster, and then what happens is you get messed up with your signs, and you forget that you need to sign clearly. Make sure that your signs are clear and not messed up. And also with the point. Think about what you're hearing or what you're thinking. What's the point? And sign the point so that it's clear and easy to understand. Now for teachers and for speakers, here's an idea. Present the ideas logically. That means it makes sense, common sense. This, then this, then this, then this, then this. Maybe it is in time sequence. What happened first, and then second, and then third, and then fourth. Maybe it is ideas that are connected. Let me explain this. Okay, that's done. Clear. Now let me explain this. That's clear. And then this, and then this, and make it clear. But it needs to make common sense. It needs to make sense. It needs to be understandable. And so present your ideas in an order, in a right order. Now, if you're interpreting, maybe the speaker is all over the place, and we call it rabbit trails, where he's speaking, goes, oh, I have an idea, and it goes over here. It's like, oh, how is that connected? You have to trust the speaker, and you have to think, be working. Your mind has to work and work and work and think it through and try to figure out how all of that story is connected with the main point. Sign so other people will understand you. Realize that people want to understand. People don't want just to like, oh, beautiful sign, beautiful, oh. No, people want to understand. And so how can you explain it clearly? Sign watching their eyes. I've seen before interpreters, and they're interpreting like this, and it's like, no, look at the eyes of the person. Now don't stare, but look, and then look, and then look, and look at this one, that one, that one, that one, that one. And you will learn, oh, I'm communicating clearly. Or you will learn, I didn't sign that clearly. That was confusing. And yourself, you can judge yourself and learn how to improve, because you can improve. Now, what do you do when the pastor says, okay, this is, I have 5 points, and A, and all of them are A. How do you sign that clearly? Well, understand that for the most part, in my experiences, I've interpreted to many, many people over the years, I have noticed many deaf people don't care about A. They don't care about that. What they want to see is clear. They want to see the body shift. They want to see the face doing what it should do. They want to see listing. Listing. That word right there. Let me show you an idea. The speaker has, 3 points. This one, and he speaks about that, okay. Now this one has 2 points. All right, this one, and it has 2 points. And when we're finished with that, then, okay, finish 1, 2, now we got the third thing. And the third thing has 4 points. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, finished. So this one, and it has 2 points, and then it has 4 points. And there are many different ways to do this listing. Also your face. All these different facial expressions. And really there are a whole lot of facial expressions. Learn to copy. How does a deaf person use his face? Imitate that. Well, don't imitate you're not making fun of a person, but you're looking at that, and practice that, and be able to go home and do and copy and do the same. I remember he said, what does that mean? And all of that. And so learn those different things. Again, sign to those people who are in front of you. If the people there, they're not understanding, that means that you did not sign clearly. Maybe you're teaching a class. Maybe a deaf person is standing up and teaching a class, and the deaf person just signs fast, or signs sloppy, or signs and it's not in the right order. It's this and that and this and that and that. And the people out there go, I don't understand what he's saying. Maybe even with a deaf speaker, sometimes that happens. They may be skilled at signs, but not skilled in communicating clearly. Sign to those people. If they don't understand you, then change your signs so they will understand you. Sign for those people to understand and make it clear. Now I'm going to show you a word. I don't know if you're going to like the word. I'm going to try to be careful with the word. All right? This is the word. K-I-S-S, not kiss. This means, I'm going to be nice, okay? K, keep. I, it. S, simple, simple. And then the last, it's supposed to be stupid. Okay, stupid. What happens is, if a person is and talking and is high, and those people out there, they don't understand, really the speaker's like, it's like they are that last S. It's like, I want to prove to you that I am smarter than you, and I'm up here and you're down here. And all those people go, really, it is hard to explain clear. You have to work at it, practice it, so that you can improve and sign and explain clearly. Show things on your face. Use gestures. Show and explain. I was thinking of the words, okay? Brush. What do you sign? B-R-U-S-H. What's the sign? Brush. Okay, let's just say, for example, it's brush. Okay. So you sign, you want to explain to brush your teeth. And you say, brush your teeth. Whoa! No. I can't see the comments right now, but I'm sure deaf people writing down saying, no. Because you want to show it. Brush your teeth or brush your teeth. Show it clearly. Don't invent ideas or signs. Don't tie the sign with a word. Show the concept or the idea to explain it. And here's an idea here. We call these expansion techniques or expansion techniques. Really, there are several. And what happens is that you learn how that you can sign and be clear every time you sign. One time I was signing, and it was in a church situation. What was happening? People were out there, and I was standing and I was presenting our ministry, Solid Word Ministries, and I signed this. I said, okay, our ministry is supported by people like you. But my voice signed those words. Our ministry is supported by people like you. But my signs did not do that. My signs said, our ministry supports people like you. And I was trying to encourage the people to give an offering to help support the ministry. But I signed the opposite of that. I signed that our ministry is looking for people like you who are poor or you have needs, and our ministry will give you money. That was right the opposite. So you have to be careful. So K-I-S-S. Make it simple and say this. How does Solid Word Ministries go on? How? Do we have money a lot? No. We need people like you to help support little bit, or maybe a lot. And you send money and support Solid Word Ministries. That's an example of expansion. If the hearing speaker said, our ministry is supported by people like you, then expansion would do that second thing. Our ministry, we have money a lot? No, we need people like you to support money, send it in, help us support to keep going. That. And so, now I signed it fast, I realize that. I'm trying to condense things and kind of hurry for the class. But you understand, you expand upon that and make it clear. Okay, so we've talked a lot about signing too fast. I realize that's a little small, but it says signing fast. So don't force them to misunderstand. So to stop misunderstanding, what do? Don't sign too fast. It doesn't matter if the speaker's talking really fast. You can sign slowly. You can sign clearly. Just think, what's he saying? Interpret that and sign it slowly and clearly. Then the second thing, misunderstanding comes from the wrong timing, meaning that you say the last and then you say the first. I'll give you an example of that. Let's see. I ate after I went to sleep. Okay, now in English, that means, that was crazy words, where it wasn't it? Yes, okay, okay. I slept after I ate. That's what I meant to say. Okay, I slept after I ate. Well, in English, you say I ate and then I slept. That's I slept after I ate. But in sign language, you said I slept and then afterwards I ate. The word after can be very confusing. And so you need the right time. I ate first and then second I slept. And so have it the right time. And then also, don't sign words, sign meanings. We've said that before here. Don't sign words, sign the meanings. What do you mean? What do you mean? Then also, don't spell. The more you spell, really, people will miss and miss and miss. Maybe you think, okay, I don't know the sign for the word in the Bible, so I'll just spell it. Well, maybe that person doesn't understand the word, the spelled word. So don't spell a lot. You need to spell few things, names, places, maybe a title, but don't spell. If you don't know a word, you maybe can spell it and see if they will give you back a word, a sign. But really, the best thing is not to spell. And I have seen even professional interpreters spell. Woo! Again, understand who's in front of you, who are the people there, and don't spell a whole lot. And normally that will help you a lot. And then don't assume they understood you. You just sign, they understood. Many hearing people don't know. If they watch a deaf person and the deaf person's going, that does not mean yes. And it does not mean I understand. Maybe the deaf person is watching the hearing and they're watching and they're saying, What they mean is, come on. I hope you can be clear later. I'm watching you. Come on. And so I think it's funny. If you see nods, it does not mean understanding. Even you can say, do you understand? They go, That may mean they understand the signs, but don't understand the meanings. And really, all the different levels of interpreter, even top professional interpreters, need to always be checking for the understanding of the people that are in front of them. Don't just assume and think they understand you because you signed it. And then last thing, naturally, we need to stop and put away sign language errors. When we sign wrong, when we do something wrong, when we sign something that is not correct, it is very easy to give them misunderstanding how with our signs that are wrong. So we need to be clear and help understanding to happen. The point is understanding. Understanding. Last time the class was about understanding, helping them to understand. Do deaf people understand you? This class is more of the practical things. How can you get your mind right and ready to help them to understand? And really, every topic we've talked about through all of these things, there's so much more that we can share. But get your mind thinking about, I'm going to watch their eyes. And do they understand me? And if they don't understand, you're a hearing person, you're interpreting, they don't understand, I'm going to change my signs. I'm going to change it. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to be clear. I'm going to expand. I'm going to help them to understand. Maybe it's a deaf teacher that's standing here and you're teaching. Watch every person. Do all understand. And if they don't understand you, then stop. Take your time. Explain it clearly so that all will understand. As I said at the beginning, This brochure right here is on Solid Word Ministries. You can get this for free, and this we're going to be putting in the comments down below a link where you can click on that and you'll go right to the Solid Word Ministries store, and you can get this, download it for free as a PDF, and you can teach other people, and you can keep it and store it, and then look around in the store. Maybe you'll find some other things that are interesting and helpful to you. And our desire is to be a blessing to you and to help you. At this time where we have Eagle Soar, our goal for this short time that we're teaching these really many lessons, I wanted to say few, but these many lessons, as we're teaching, we want your deaf ministry to improve and to grow. Maybe you're a deaf person and you say, right, my interpreter needs that. Okay, get this, download it, give it to your interpreter, and really there are many other topics there at the Solid Word Ministry store. So we'll look forward to seeing you again at the next time for Eagle Soar.